What's up, everybody? Welcome back to day 2 of our posture reset workshop. If you jumped on yesterday, hopefully you got a lot of value from that. If you're jumping on or watching later, please give us a like, a heart, like our page so you get updates like this. We're going to be doing at least one type of workshop every month, sometimes multiple. So we want to just do what we can to provide as much content for you guys in your health and wellness. So whether it's like we're talking about today, dealing with your posture, whether it's diving into nutrition, whether it's diving into exercise or workouts or whatever the case may be, we want to provide a quality experience, quality content for you guys so you guys can, build that foundation of knowledge to, take this with you. So if you jumped on yesterday, we really dove into the ins and outs of posture, how it's affected, some of the things specifically that, are affected when it comes to posture, whether good or bad. And we really dove into soft tissue work, or what's called self-myofascial release. So what that is I call it like the poor man's massage. So that's essentially a way for your body to get the benefits of a massage on a daily basis and work out those knots, adhesions, scar tissue, improve the range of motion, improve your mobility in the joints, improve circulation through the muscles. So there's a lot of benefits to foam rolling and soft tissue work. So today is part 2 of the 4-day workshop. And what we're going to do in part 2 is kind of go over the same muscles that we did, the ones that are very tight and overactive, that are really working on your joint and causing compensations for your postural alignment. And you want to first do the soft tissue work that we talked about yesterday. If you didn't watch that video, go back and watch it. Because that will release some of the tension in the muscle. Well, now we want to lengthen. Now we want to stretch some of those tight muscles. So I'm going to give you some of the best stretches for those common areas that we went over yesterday. This video won't be too long. I'm just going to kind of quickly go over it. When you're doing these stretches, you should go to a point of a slight discomfort. It shouldn't be painful. I recommend 60 seconds or more per area. So, if we're doing a stretch for the neck, do it for like 60 plus seconds per side. If these are muscles that are tight on you, then I do recommend to do it daily or almost daily, because there's a lot of benefits to that. We talked a lot yesterday in our workshop about, people that sit at a desk all day are kyphotic. So, if you're sitting for 8 to 10 hours a day in this position, well, you can't just stretch for 10 seconds and expect you to get back into, good postural alignment. So we want to make sure we hold those stretches for a decent amount of time in order for it to be effective. Again, disclaimer, as I said yesterday, if you have any issues, obviously talk with a doctor, anything there. If it is more structural, like leg length discrepancies, spine is out of alignment, then this stuff can help, but it can only go so far. So you might need to work with a professional in terms of chiropractic care or whatever. I'm going to post it again here. I posted it yesterday. We do have a free program that you can download. What it is see if we can do 2 things at once: one's text or message and talk. Whoops. So what that free download is it's essentially, there's a quick test that you can either do in the mirror or put your video, like your phone, out in front of you, or have somebody hold it, even easier. Make sure I spelled this right as I'm sending it to you. Yeah, so I just commented there the free download there that you can watch. So along with that is, when you're doing that, when you download that, it's got a little test. There's 2 different tests that you can do, and then it gives you a corrective exercise program that you can start to do every day that will help fix some of those muscle imbalances. So I highly recommend it. It's free. You can just click on that link there, put it into URL and you can download that. So again, this is part 2 of our posture reset workshop. If you didn't get a chance, go back and watch yesterday. We dive into the ins and outs. We talked about soft tissue work. Now we're going to dive into the specific stretches. So we're going to work our way down similar to what we did yesterday. The first key area that causes a lot of issues, usually with neck, shoulder pain, a lot of the time stemming from overuse injuries. So, if you have to work with your arms overhead, or if you sleep a certain way, or if you're on your phone a lot or at a computer, it can cause a lot of issues here. It's your upper trapezius muscle here. It's this top part of your shoulder, bottom part of your neck. Gets very, very tight on a lot of people. So my favorite stretch here to do after you do the soft tissue work that we did yesterday is extend this arm out real wide, real lengthen through those fingers, palms forward, and then you're going to tilt your head opposite. Now in all stretches, as I mentioned already, we want to do it for about 60 seconds per side. So for all stretches, we want to get to a point of slight discomfort, but hold good posture. So you don't want to hold your typical kyphotic, like slouch forward posture. Sit up real tall, shoulders back, extend that arm out to the side here, and then just gently tilt your head opposite. Get a nice pull through the neck and shoulder, down through that bicep. And again, that is the next phase for your part 2. Yesterday we talked about the soft tissue work. Today we're talking about the stretches. So I'll do both sides for about a minute. Your next one is your shoulder. So there's a lot of different aspects of the shoulder, but what we're specifically going to target is right in this general area. So what I'm going to recommend is you take your hand, kind of reach it here, okay, reach it up back, and then you're going to take your elbow and kind of pull it inward. Pull it towards like your stomach and get a nice pull through there. So I'm reaching with this arm up and back, taking my elbow and just kind of pulling it in. Okay, this is a very good stretch for the area that we worked on yesterday to kind of stretch out through there. So that would be exercise number 2 in the sequence. Again, do it for at least a minute each side. These are some of the areas that's going to help with neck and shoulder pain or issues or postural dysfunctions there. The last one in the upper body is for the Pec Minor here. So if you remember, we worked through the ball with this one here. Is a simple doorway stretch. So you can come into a doorway like so. Okay, you're going to lean into it and then turn away from that arm. Nice 45-degree angle here. You should feel a nice stretch through that chest and shoulder. Sitting up real tall, again, always with good posture. This is one of the muscles that pulls the shoulders down. So if you're at a desk all day, to get you back upright into that natural posture, this is a very good one for you to incorporate along with the soft tissue that we did yesterday. So those are our 3 upper body ones. Now we're going to dive a little bit into our midsection and lower body ones. Again, we did the soft tissue yesterday. We talked about the posture. Now we're going to dive into the lower body and the key areas that cause a lot of issues. So if you have any specific issues, let me know. Do a post comment below. Give us a nice like and heart if these are some of the areas that you may struggle with or that you need a little bit of help with, so we know we're helping you out here. Your first one is called your piriformis. So that's this back part of the hip. It's a small like pencil. It's very thin kind of muscle that radiates here. A lot of people that sit a lot, you sometimes with sciatic pain, different things there cause a lot of issues. So we talked about how to hit it with the ball yesterday. Now we're going to go into stretching because we always do the stretching after the soft tissue. So a one that you can do is the same type of movement we did on the ball is you cross this leg over top, okay, pull yourself in and then just hold this position. If that's a little bit too intense, you can go down to the floor and just try this way. Okay, it's a little less intense. Or you can sit on a chair. I don't have a chair available here, but pretend I'm sitting on a chair. Just kind of cross your leg here and then just lean forward. Okay, so I'm working that back right hip. I'm pushing down with this knee, keeping a good posture through the spine. and then leaning forward into it. You should feel a nice stretch through this upper part of the back of the hip. So that's our piriformis. That's one of the ones that we hit yesterday with the ball. Next is our TFL, one of our hip flexors. So again, if you have back pain, knee pain, you might be very tight in the hips. So this is a really good one. Or if you're just somebody that sits a lot at work, you have a long commute to work, whatever it is, you just generally have to sit a lot. This is a very good one for you to do regularly, is in a lunge position. So my left leg is up here in front, my right leg is back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lunge into it. This is my right leg on the ground. I'm gonna squeeze my right butt muscle here, okay? Sit up real tall and extend this arm up and lean towards my left. So you should feel a nice pull all down through here. Again, very important, make sure you squeeze the right glute or the leg that is on the ground. We really wanna stretch out through there. Again, if you have a lot of knee pain, back pain, highly recommend to do this. If you have to sit a lot, very good one. So now, similar for the front part of the quad, this is called a couch stretch essentially. You're in the same position, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this back leg and either pull it up towards my hips, or I can put it on like a stair step, or I can come here and put it against the wall and just sit up real tall. So the change in the stretch is gonna go from your hip now to like the front part of your thigh, your quad. Here, again, squeeze the glute of the down leg, sit up real tall. If you wanna raise your arm up, you can, you don't have to here, but just sit up with good posture. Very, very important. You can always draw your belly button in, squeeze that glute so you have good postural alignment. Remember, 60 seconds for each thing that we do, both sides, and always, always, always make sure that you hold good posture in all of your stretches. So we have that. Now we have two more. So we have our inner thigh stretch. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna come to your knees and then take your right leg, you can start with your right leg, just extend it out to the side. You're gonna come down on your hands and you're just gonna rock your hips back towards your heels. Now while I'm doing this, my leg is out, my other knee is down. Notice my spine angle. Okay, so I'm not doing this and rounding my back. That's not keeping good posture. So you want to keep nice lengthen through the spine, drive your hips back. You should feel a nice pull in that groin and inner thigh of that extended leg. Okay, this is a really good one if you're a woman, for one, because you have a higher angle from your hips to your knees. Okay, or anybody that has knee issues or torn meniscus, different things there, or just knee issues in general. This is a really good one because this is that muscle that pulls those knees inwards and puts a lot of excess pressure on those knees. Last one we're gonna do, guys, is a calf stretch. So this is to improve ankle mobility. If you remember yesterday, we talked about joint by joint approach. Mobility, stability. Every next joint is either a stable or mobile joint. If you lack mobility in the mobile joints, you're gonna suffer elsewhere. So if you lack the mobility in your hips or your ankles, your knees or your low back sometimes is gonna take an effect or take a negative effect there. So improving this mobility is very important. This one is the calf stretch. This will help improve the ankle mobility. This will give you more better movement in like squatting, lunging, bending down, different things to help with your knees and even your back to improve your posture there. So simple calf stretch here. Stand up against a wall, bring your one leg back, push that heel into the floor. So very important is you want to take this leg and really drive that heel down into the floor. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of the leg here, and then you'll also do it in two ways. So if I'm here, I'm driving my back heel down, I'll also then bend the knee with the heel down. That's gonna hit a different muscle called your soleus. It's a little bit lower than the calf, okay? You might be tight in both, you might be tight in one or the other. I would recommend to still stretch them both. If you have like plantar fasciitis, different things there that you've dealt with, that might be a good one for you to do for both of those. So pushing up against the wall, okay, I'm gonna extend my back leg back, hold with my heel driving into the ground for 60 seconds, and then I'm also gonna step into it a little bit more and then bend my back knee, okay, see how my knee is bent now as opposed to straight, and I'm pushing my heel down. That's going to help improve your ankle mobility. So that's part 2, guys, of our 4-part workshop on posture reset. Again, if you didn't get a chance to watch part number 1, I dive a lot deeper into this stuff. You can watch that there. Today we talked about the corrective stretches that are the most common to give people benefits, and I discussed what postural issues that may help, what lifestyle aspects that may be caused by, and so that might give you a clue. If you want a more in-depth opportunity to test to see if you have any of these issues and what exercise you should do to help, then I encourage you, I posted a link above to download the free guide. It's completely free. There's a couple tests in there that you can do yourself or have somebody help you, like hold a phone. And it'll give you a specific corrective program based on that. So that's it, guys. If you have any other questions, if you're watching it live or later, feel free to comment, and I will be happy to answer any of your questions.